Hello, welcome to the All or Nothing podcast. Our official sponsors are KR Couriers and Transport Limited. This is a Northwest based courier company delivering all across the UK. They can assist in home moves and removals to large, heavy and bulky items, collections and drop-offs. Fast, safe and reliable deliveries. Please get in touch for a free quote. You'll find all the information within the description. Thank you. Hello everybody and welcome to the All or Nothing podcast with Billy Moore, and today's special guest is Darren Hardy. Darren, thanks for coming on, mate.
You're okay?
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing me on, mate.
Darren, I really do appreciate you coming on because I've read all about, your story and your daughter's story in, the paper, and it was like, I reached out to you because I knew, this should draw a little bit of strength and hope in other people. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin, and then we can talk about Sarah, because you are like, it's a bit of a tough one, this, for anyone, especially for a father.
Yeah, mate, it has been tough, but basically, mate, I'm just Isla's dad. I literally, from the very beginning, from the day she was born, a couple of months on, I ended up breaking up with the mum, and literally, I think it was about 9 months later, a situation arose where I ended up getting a call of the police and the social services, and I had to go down to the house, and the policeman just said, basically, we're going into that house now, and we're going to get your daughter, and we're going to give you her. So I was like, wow, okay. Bearing in mind, she was just before her first birthday. Then they went, here's a phone, there's the social services. They put the phone to me, and I went, they went, basically, we've been trying to get in touch with you for over 8 months, 7 months, what have you. She's been given false details for you. That police officer's going to take you upstairs now. You're going to get your daughter and you're going to keep her. If you give your daughter back to her, we're going to put her into care. I said, well, you don't need to worry about that now. She's with me. I'll do what I have to do. She said, okay, well, tomorrow, go to his solicitors and go and fight for your daughter. So I did, and that's what I've done. And 11 months later, I won a court order that she lived with me permanently from that point, which was, do you know what, mate? It's mad to say, but even at that point, she saved my life. I didn't save her life. Do you know what I mean? She really did save my life. My life was up and down at the time. It was all over the place, Bill. It was just, I was like 30 something years of age, but I'm still living a 20-year-old's life. Do you know what I mean?
What was going on for you at the time? That sort of like brought you back to life in a sense.
It was just there. It was just there that brought me back to life. It was getting there and knowing that there was nobody else out there to do what was going to be able to do anything for that little girl.
Responsibility.
100%. And if it weren't me that was going to do that job, they'd already told me when the day they put her into my arms, she'll go into care. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be it for her. So I couldn't think of anything worse, mate. I couldn't think of anything worse. So.
No, definitely not. You know what I mean? You don't want anyone else bringing up your kids.
Mate, or just being in care in general, mate. It's just... So it was... from that moment, I just... In my head, I remember sitting in the car, and I remember looking at her, just going, I'll do everything for you. I'll do everything that I can possibly do for you. You're mine now, that's it.
Yeah. So,
yeah, as I say, she's been with me ever since, mate. And, we've had ups and downs, and it's strange, Bill, just to think about the journey that we've been and where we are now. Do you know what I mean?
How old is she now?
She's 6, mate.
She's only 6, yeah. 6 years old. Wow. And, you've been hit with traumatic news, which is quite, it's quite sad to listen to and read and, hear from you. So, tell us a little bit about how that came about, please.
So, right. She was going to school in Bootle, and while she was there, she was doing great for the first couple of months. Like great, you know, like the teacher come out, go out there, and she's been brilliant. And then it was a couple of months on, it must have been about 2 months after being in that school, they come to me and it was like, Darren, you know, we're having issues. She's sitting on kids. I was just like, God, well, you know, just doing some strange stuff. But like for me, it was just kiddie stuff, you know. Never really thought anything into it. Then it started, Darren, she's getting naughty hands. She's starting to with kids. And I'm like, okay, now it's getting a bit. They said, Darren, we think that she might have, you know, some additional needs. We were like,
on a spectrum of some sort.
Yeah, basically. So I was like, okay, you know, like, what's the next steps? What do we do? How do we find out? They turned around and a few of the services started coming involved then. I can't think of the first ones, but some services, I can't remember because we're talking 5 years, about 5 or 6 years ago now. So then they started looking at it. She had a paediatrician appointment. Oh, that was it, speech and language. They said, you know, she's got delayed learning. Development problems. So we were like, okay. I was like, so where do we go from here? So I was just going through the motions with them. We went for the first. I went for the first paediatrician appointment, and in that first paediatrician appointment, he turned around to me and said, "Look, Darren, I don't think it's autism. I need you to go home tonight and I need you to look up Rett syndrome." It's like Rett syndrome, never heard it before in my life. So I went home, had a little look at it, and Bill, to be fair, it was devastating what I was seeing. It was like, you know, life expectancy, you know, 20, 30, you know, by looking at a young, healthy little girl thinking, Jesus, your life's being cut down like to 20 or 30, and it's the not knowing, do you know what I mean? So I went home, had a look at that. Life was just like, whoa, you know, well, let's just, we need to just do this, find out what it is. We're going a little bit further down the line with them. More services are coming involved, you know, just to try and get the help and the support that she needed at the time. Then she went for a genetic test, like to test all the genes in the body, because this Rett syndrome is a genetic disease. It's within a system. They covered it, so completely delayed the test, the results back. I ended up waiting about, I think it was about a year and a half, Bill, for them to come back. Now I knew it was long. I knew it was a long time to wait. They said about 12 months maximum, but because of all that delayed it, we ended up getting a genetic results back in August, just literally August, like, and
so that's as recent as that. Wow.
Yeah.
And this is before COVID as well, so you're talking like
that's
it's
how long
2 years now,
was that 2
isn't it?
years,
Yeah,
mate. I'm all mixed up with my days, mate. To be fair,
it's getting on like, wow.
It was a long time. I just remember it being a long time, and so to be fair, we weren't told quite right, Bill. It was a neurologist, paediatrician sat us down, and just me and my partner Katie, and he just turned around to us and went, right, look, it's not Rett syndrome. We were like, okay. The positivity started running through my body. I was going, oh, it's not, oh, great, you know, this could be really good, this baby. It could be just something, you know, not as severe as what we think. He went, it's Niemann disease, type C. He said, what I want you to do is I want you to go home. He said, but I don't want you to look at the internet. I don't want you to look it up, but go home, because just know that there's tablets out there to make it better. We were like, okay, well, medication to make it better. Well, that sounds medication. She has this medication. She's going to be better. We walked out of that meeting or the appointment, and we were buzzing. I was phoning my family. I was going, look, it's not Rett syndrome. It's Niemann disease. Oh, there's medication. And I just told the whole of the family. I was telling all my friends.
Just excited.
I was excited. I was proper excited. Just before I even looked on the internet, because I just thought, well, taking your advice, you're a professional person, you know.
Yeah, the information.
I take information how it comes. I don't expect people to twist things, lie, anything. Do you know what I mean? I just expect it to be just given to me as raw as it is. So it wasn't until we then started looking at it and looking into it. It was that night we went home, dead positive. The following day, started looking into it. In fact, it weren't. It was that night after we were getting our heads down, you know, before you're sitting on your phone, Niemann disease, okay, which is the best medication, you know, what is it we're looking for? Because we didn't know nothing about it, Bill. So it was just like we were going through it and there weren't much about it because it's so rare. To give you an idea how rare it is, Bill, it's there's 1,000 people in the world. There's 100 people in the UK. Isla's the only person that's got it in Liverpool, and so we've the only person to ever have had it. So, looking from the paediatrician side, he just didn't have no information to give us on it. He just didn't know about it. Do you know what I mean?
There was no knowledge to provide you with.
He'd never had nothing.
No.
There's a place out there, a charity called NP UK. Now they specialise in Niemann disease, and they're in Manchester. They specialise in the Manchester Children's Hospital. Yeah. And we ended up finding that site, and then we started gathering information. So as you can imagine, we didn't sleep then because it was just red flag. Oh my God. We'd realised at this point, before even getting our heads down, that the life expectancy was a hell of a lot shorter. It's just like...
So you've gone from 2030 to like it's been reduced to this time, and you've gone from this meeting absolutely buzzing, over the moon with the information that was, you know, you felt like you know, obviously you're misled here with that info, and you've gone home and you've realised that this is a bit too, you know, this is a bit more than there is to say about it.
100%, mate. 100%. It was like we started doing these family TikToks and that. It was just a bit of fun at first, to be fair, and we were, you know, like telling Isla's story, and we were just having a little laugh, and it was all fun and games at first. Then we started to build up a little bit of a community of other families that have got additional needs and disabilities in the family, and then we started putting it out. You know, she's got this disease, this Niemann disease, and then it was a friend of my partner's actually reached out to us and said, look, I've studied this over in America. He said, do you know much about it? And we were like, no, we're gathering stuff off like taking little bits out of. There isn't much there in black and white to say, look, this is what it is. This is and we hadn't touched base with the paediatrician who specialises in Niemann disease at this point. This was still, we'd just been referred a day ago. Do you know what I mean?
What was he saying that was that the condition was? That what was debilitating? Where was help needed?
So it's
physically. Was it physically, mentally?
It's neurologically, but what happens is there's fatty cells within your cells in your body. So as that's travelling through, it's going up to her brain, but she hasn't got the ability to metabolize the fat, to get rid of the fatty cells. So that those fatty cells, as they're travelling through her body, it's clogging up her brain. It's just clogging. But then there's some other problems where a liver doesn't work as good, and a few of the different organs just don't work.
Struggling
as well. They struggle. But it's kind of being put down to us like it's Alzheimer's, but just in young girls or in a young person for kids. But yeah, it's just, it's nuts, Bill, honestly.
I couldn't even imagine, mate, what it's like, and now they've put her on palliative care. Now that is, that's got to be distressing and horrible for anyone or any parent to have to, to go through, to have to take care of your daughter, end of life treatments and stuff like that. How's that? Where did that? How was that a shock? Did that come to you? Obviously it was.
100% it was a shock, but before they come in, we ended up getting all the information. We eventually met with the specialist, the paediatrician in Manchester, and then he sat us down. But by this time, a week or two had gone by, so we'd gathered a lot of information, and the person who we were talking to also gave us a lot of information. He said, like, is her head drooping down? And we were like, yeah. She said she's losing the ability to hold her own head up now, so these are all major signs. We were like, okay. They said, when we sat down with the paediatrician like 2 weeks later, he turned around and said, look, I need to stress the seriousness of the nature. We were like, look, we know the seriousness of the nature now. I've kind of gathered up a load of information myself. What I done was I went onto the deaths on the, I know it's something that a father should never have to do, mate, but I looked up Niemann Pick disease type C and the deaths. And what happened, what I found, Bill, right, you had people dying all over the world, different countries, and then it was like numbers, so 3, and it was just at the age of 1, at the age of 2, there was deaths, right up until the age of 13, right? And then there was a gap of like 3 years, and then it started up again, numbers from 13 going up to like 50, 60. So we were like trying to make head and tail of these numbers and working out what was going on with the other information and pinning it all together. So by the time we did sit down with the paediatrician, I had a little bit of knowledge, and I said, look, just tell me it as raw as you can. I want to know the ins and outs of it. I want you to be as straight and as to the point to me. I said, tell me what she's got left. Tell me, I need to know. Do you know what I mean? Because my head was all over the place. He went, right, she's got any time from now till 6 years, up till 13. I said, and I turned around to my partner Katie and I said, I told you, didn't I? I said, I told you, as soon as they turned 13, there was numbers after it. There was like a 3-year gap. People can get it from young, from
an age then,
or they get it in adults. They get it when they're an adult, and that's why you've got that gap. So there's, well, by the looks of things, there's 1 or 2 people that'll survive after 13, but 13 is literally your cut off, mate. But then it wasn't until 3 weeks ago, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had the palliative care team come in. She'd also had experience with Niemann Pick disease. She dealt with two kids, so she'd had experience. Once again, we were excited, like, oh great, you're going to be able to bring a little bit to the table, tell us a little bit more information, and then she just sat there and we said, look, we've been told 6 years, and she just looked at us and went, puzzled look at me, and I was like, she went, 6 years? And I went, yeah, why would you say that? Like, why would you, pull a face? She went, it's a bit optimistic, isn't it? And I went, well, why? She said, well, look how much she's regressed in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, she stopped walking. Do you know what I mean? She now fed and drinks through a peg. Yeah. She said, she's not a well little girl, is she? 6 years is very, very optimistic. So we were like, it was just... that night was just a write-off. It was just like, come on, let's sort everything, let's get to bed, get our heads down, new day in the morning, come on, let's push forward.
That must have been difficult for you, mate, honestly.
It was. It was hard, lad, proper.
Especially, because you've got that belief, haven't you, that little bit of open, even 6 years, you just want to hang on, and like what I read, and it was like, you've been told to make memories and stuff like that. That's a big... that's a big statement, that, isn't it?
Massive.
For young Isla, 6 years old.
Yeah, it's heavy. Do you know, like, I'm trying to tell a story, and I'm trying to be strong for her by telling a story on as many platforms as I can do, just to try and get kind of what she needs right now to make her life, like, more comfortable. What do you think she needs, mate? Right now, to make her more comfortable. What we're doing now is we're trying to push to get her a ground floor living, so she's all on one level. So at the moment, we've got no room in the house for hoists. It's been deemed too unsafe for her to go in a lift from ground floor to a bedroom. So I'm carrying her everywhere. She's 6, she's slim, but she's long, mate, and she's heavy. She's getting there, like, she's got a new peg fitted, so that's like a little bit sore, and I'm having to pick her up, take her upstairs, put her in bed, pick her up, put her into the bathroom, pick her up, bring her back downstairs. It's just constant lifting for me all over the place, and it's got to be uncomfortable for her. She's losing the ability to hold her own head up now, so when I'm holding her, I've got to support her head as well. Meanwhile, her seizures are all over the place, so I'm taking her up the stairs, she's having seizures, stiffening up. I'm like, it's like trying to manoeuvre an ironing board up the stairs, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not, it's your daughter, do you know what I mean? So we've just been pushing me to try and get this conservatory done. Not a conservatory, I say that all the time. It's a an extension so that she's got a bathroom, she's got a bedroom, we can do it all up boss with all lights, we can have a hoist in there that picks her up gently, puts her into the bath gently, and then puts her into a chair gently, and then everything's just nice and smooth for her, and she'd just be so much happier, mate, for however long she's got me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the aim. That's my target in my head. And it, all the bits in between, just enjoying it, enjoying every moment, enjoying every smile, enjoying every time she holds my hand, sit there just looking, touching her feet, you know what I mean? I know it sounds silly, mate, but it's it's just trying to hold it and just keep all them, just save these memories, mate, you know what I mean?
100%, mate. And you know, I know there's a link there to support, you know, Isla, and it's a GoFundMe link, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll put that within this description for everyone to, you know, their choice whether they want to click on it and support you. You know, and hopefully they will do on that one.
Even a share, you know, Bill, just even you can, there's a,
you know, even if you can share it,
share it out, honestly, just a share. That's all we can ask of people.
It's Darren, I read the story, mate, and it brought a tear to me eye, and I thought I need to speak to you. And I knew you were friends with me on Facebook anyway, so, you know, I reached out and sent you a little message, mate, and, you know, I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was, like, so sad, and I don't think, you know, I think when you've got kids now, it's more, you know, you feel it more.
Yeah,
and with me
100%.
having, you know, my little boy and that, it kind of reminded me of, like, you know, if what it's like to be a father, you know, and what it'd be like to have to put someone through palliative care and be a part of that journey where, you know, you've got to come to some acceptance and understanding. So, you know, how are you coping, mate, to be fair, you know, with the news? Because I don't know, I would, but
it's a hard one. Like,
do you think there's a bit of denial?
Yeah, and there's a little bit of I'm hoping and I'm wishing for this 6 years. Even now that I've seen her over the last 3 weeks lose a little bit of ability and lose a little bit of herself, I'm still in hope. I'm hoping that she levels out now. She could level out. She could level out for 6 years. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm living and in hope, and just everyone that I've got around me at the moment is the support I've got is massive, and it really is massive. Like, but my partner as well, she's absolutely unreal. If I'm having a bad day, she's there for me. If she's having a bad day, I'm there for her. So we're just constantly just picking each other up. She picks me up, I pick her up, and we try and stay as positive, because what's in the back of our minds now is, yeah, we've had devastating news, but she's still here. She's there. So let's enjoy her. Let's not get too down about it.
Yeah.
It does, believe me, it does. And we have days where we're wrote off, and it's just like, I just go, babe, let's just go to bed. Let's just forget about today. Let's wake up and let's be in a better mood. You know what I mean? And it's just about trying to be as happy around that little girl as possible, as much as we can. And
so, as I go from, like, you know, a bubbly young kid, you know, boom, to this place of, like, she's regressed so quick, where she hasn't got the ability to communicate, you know, and, you know, you're struggling to, you know, to make it comfortable. Is that just happened so fast?
It seems like so fast now, but you've got to remember, it's been over 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been over 3 or 4 years. It's been a slow regression, but because we're at this stage now, it feels like it's just gone in at heartbeats.
It's speeded up, has it?
It's like when she was 2, she used to run around, daddy, 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 everything, daddy car, daddy door, daddy, just daddy everything. Used to come over, like, you know, as imaginary players, kids do, teapot, pouring cups of tea. Oh, babe, that's lovely. Oh, can I have some more? Do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. To eventually not talking, just completely silent, just wouldn't say a thing. To then losing the ability to walk. And then it's just been... It's just been hard, mate. It's just been... It's... You
know, there's a lot of people out there that will draw strength from your courage and, you know, trying to get that acceptance around what's happening. You know, because you did say prior to, you know, being back in Isla's life, because, you know, I'm a mum, I don't really need to speak about it, because I don't really know her, and I haven't got an opinion on anything. or any history or information. But before the social services stepped in, you know, was you like like living that way of like the party life, and it was just a little bit you're up and down?
Oh yeah,
because I would have
100%.
been, mate. Look at
Well,
that.
it's. I don't want to go too much into what happened with, but we literally, Isla was only 2 months old, and we split up. We were married, split up. And
Married,
like,
so that's a
married.
big one. So yeah.
Do you know how long we were married for? 6 weeks.
That was a
Yeah.
shotgun wedding, eh?
Like situation arose, Bill, where I just had to leave. I was like, nah, no, not a chance. I'm not standing for that. I'm off. So left. In that time, trying to, you know, have time to with my daughter, and she was just putting the blockers on it. Nah, no, can't see her. Period of time went by where I was partying. I was proper partying, and the more she wouldn't let me see her, the more I'd party. Do you know what I mean? I'd never had no sort of stability, no reason to keep me feet down on the ground, mate. And then as I say, we got to that point where I ended up getting that phone call, mate, and things just changed for me.
What about her mum now? How's she coping? It's going to be a bit... No.
She's completely off the rails, mate.
Yeah.
Completely off the rails. To the point where contact's being cut. She's just completely gone the other way now.
Sadly, she's moved on to, you know, another journey in her life, which is not like involving yourself and Isla. So there's no contact there.
Nah, to be fair, right, Isla still goes to an aunt's every other weekend, and that's mum's mum.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of opportunity for her to go down and go to see her, and not once or twice within a year. It was the only times like that she has took it upon herself to go and see her, but it's got to the point now where it's being completely cut. For her, not by myself, by obviously the services that are involved. Like, mate, it's sad, but we've reached out to me and my partner the day we got the diagnosis. We reached out to her and we said, look, right, listen, this is what we'll do. We'll wipe the slate clean. We want you, your family, we want you there with us, by our side, by Isla's side. Let's go in and be a force for her. Let's all stand together and let's do what we need to do. And I don't know whether it was the news, mate, but she's just completely gone the other way.
Yeah, you've got to understand, you know, she might be going through some stuff herself, so, you know, and we're not of the opinion, or I'm not anyway, to say anything about that, but is she in a position to travel, like go on holidays abroad? They've limited that due to?
Not as yet. She's not too sick so that she can't travel, but I'm on the understanding that she does need some mad insurance because of a disability.
Is there anything she likes to do? Has she got anything favourite? Anything like Disney?
Oh, she loves Disney, mate. Loves anything to do with that. The princesses, Frozen, Moana, all that type of stuff. She literally, all we do with her is she just wants to be comfortable and she wants to watch that telly. We took her out to go and see Elf in the M&S Arena. She slept halfway through it. It's just like, and we're trying to do stuff and plan stuff to make memories, but she's just happy just sitting there watching the telly, and you know, she's just
Is she still enjoying stuff like that?
Yeah, the telly nice. Is what she gets her main enjoyment from. Toys, she was disinterested in toys a long time ago. At about 3, once everything started kicking in, she'll pick up a toy and just throw it down. These sensory stuff, she plays with 2 seconds and throws it. Do you know what I mean? But she'll just sit there and watch her telly all day, and she laughs and she's smiling. You know that she's actually enjoying herself, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Have you still got any like anger around like the misinformation you had initially? I think you just have to go.
There isn't much you can do. I think it's down to the lack of information around about. Not very many people know about it, mate. You know, because it's so rare. So it's. Do you know what, mate? I haven't got anger for anyone. To be fair,
you don't come across.
I don't hold it.
You come across someone who's quite grounded. To be fair, Darren, you know what I mean? And you know, I believe, you know, from your persona that you've got some kind of acceptance and understanding about what's, you know, what's going on, and now you want to make memories instead of like just living in that depression, because you know, life is too short, and we are blessed with a few short decades, and some of us aren't, and some of us, you know, sadly pass sooner. And you know, it's about making the moments for today, and it seems that you've got that. Did you have any kind of like meditation, or did you go through any kind of that stuff, spiritual stuff?
You know what, right? you're gonna laugh. I'm going. So I'm not into like I don't know how I feel about spiritual stuff and all that, but a week after finding out, and as you can understand, our heads were everywhere, and I was a little bit angry at that time, Bill. I'm not gonna lie, I had built up emotions, didn't have nowhere to release it, because I'm just family. I'm in that house, I'm looking after, you know, Princess, I'm doing stuff with the family, and I'm just in my own little bubble. So I did start getting a lot of built up anger. It wasn't until I went asleep after a night out with me missus, and I don't know, listen Bill, I can't even explain it to today. I had a dream, an apparition, I don't know what it was, but it was a grey witch come to me, and I know it sounds dead bizarre, and I'm not a believer in any of it. I didn't even know what a grey witch was. Just remember waking up from this dream, or waking up in the morning, and this grey witch come to me and said, I'm saying it, but I can only tell you how it's happened.
Yeah, say it how it is,
whether it's
mate.
in my head, but it happens. So I woke up and I told me mate, I went, babe, I just had this mad dream about a grey witch. I don't even know nothing about a grey witch. I said, can we look up grey witch? So we're looking up grey witches. I said, she come to me, she was at the end of the bed. I said, I could see her as like, I knew she was there, do you know what I mean? Couldn't tell you what she looked like, I just knew there was someone there, and she was a grey witch. And I just said, you're all right, what are you doing? She just went, just come here for you. And I went, all right, okay. She went, sad. And it kind of just like left it at that. She just come to show herself to be here for me. And from that day, mate, it's kind of given me, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you.
What did it say about it, this grey witch?
I can't explain it, Bill. Honest to God, it was just, whether it be sun and a being or a spirit.
Was it something dark? Was it something caring or loving?
Do you know what, Bill, right? I'm just thinking back, because
you just heard the word witch, mate, you think, fuck that.
It's I remember in my head thinking, you're not good, but you're not bad. You're in between. You're grey. I can see a bit of bad in you, but I can see a bit of good in you. But Bill, I can't. It's hard for me to try and explain, because I don't believe it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I just know that I had a dream about this thing, this grey witch, and then the next thing, the following day, I had strength from nowhere. That was. I found strength from inside, and I don't know where it's come from. I don't know whether it was, but it seems mad just talking about it, Bill. But
no,
it's I don't believe in that type of stuff, do you know what I mean? But I didn't even know what a grey witch was. I was like, babe, do you know what a grey witch is?
And you wasn't under the influence of anything, no?
No, 100%.
You know,
we'd been out and had a few ales in
but that's not gonna,
Greavy's bar.
Yeah, that's not going to bring any grey witches,
yeah,
is it?
nah, not a chance, please.
So what's your life been about, you know, until, you know, today? You know, what was it like growing up and that for you? You know, did you expect kids? Did you want kids? Did you want a family? You know, do you still, you know, with your partner now, do you still feel like you're going to build a family and go forward in life with that kind of, because you're only a young man, aren't you?
I'm 40, Bill.
You're still a lot, lad. You're fucking young. Come on, lad. Stop it now. 40's the new 30.
Mate, I feel old.
Yeah. I'm 50 and I've got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
So,
well, there you go. You know what, mate? I want another baby. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm a family man. I don't go out with me mates. I don't go out.
No, I can see that, mate. Yeah.
I'm literally. I love my own little bubble, and that's where I'm happiest. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely have more kids. See, my family, like, we're quite a close knit family. We've been brought up by a really good family, like, and it's always been. So
there's never been anything off the rails, never been off the beaten track, just been
dead, like, just that normal, Bill. Well, so what's normal to me is probably not normal to everyone else, but yeah, it's just dead normal, mate.
Just a normal, manageable life.
Yeah, just
no
like,
problems, no beef.
Not really, mate. Yeah. Nah, not out of the ordinary, to be fair. Yeah. It's nuts, but I lived with my nan for a lot of years though. Once I got to a certain age, but it's not an out of the ordinary, Bill. Honestly.
Yeah. But you know what, mate? I want to say thanks for your courage and for coming on, and I want to to reach out and ask people out there to share your story. I'll put the link in there, and as for Isla, I wish you nothing but love and happiness, and I know that you'll give her that and you provide it for her, Is there anything you'd like to say? I know it's only been a short one, but there's not really much where we can go.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring you on and get you to share this experience that you've been going through, and to provide everyone with a link to support Isla, and I'd really appreciate that if you could, you know what I mean, if you could all support this great kind of like mission to make your daughter comfortable.
100%.
Is there anything you'd like to say just to bring this
I just want to first just say thank you for bringing me on to let me tell Isla's story, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Amazing, thank you. And you tapped on it. The way people can help us is by just sharing the link out. If you just share the link, share Isla's story, eventually we will get to where we need to be to get her what she needs to keep her comfortable, mate. That's it.
And we'll make that happen. We've got, this is a genuine, like, this is a genuine, authentic fucking case of, like, let's help someone. We're trying to fucking, help.
Boss, mate.
Your daughter, yeah. So with that, honest to God, thank you for coming on again. Appreciate it, Darren, mate.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, mate.
You're welcome.